Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Anita Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, the 9th International Buddhist Items and Crafts Fair kicks off in Xiamen, China. Tzu Chi volunteers in the United States celebrates double blessings. And finally, TIMA members conduct a free clinic in Sao Paolo, Brazil. The 9th China Xiamen International Buddhist Items and Crafts Fair officially kicked off at the Xiamen International Conference and Exhibition Center on October 15th. This year, 350 volunteers from Taiwan, Guangzhou, and Suzhou came to lend a hand at what is considered to be one of the world's biggest Buddhist fairs. Exhibitors from home and abroad are taking part in the event, including Tzu Chi's very own Jingsi Publications and Daai Technology. Let's take a look. Like in previous years, the annual Xiamen International Buddhist Items and Crafts Fair has garnered great attention and interest in exhibitors and visitors from home and abroad. The 6,800 store space attracted close to 1,000 exhibitors from 13 countries, including Taiwan, Vietnam, and Australia.
The 9th Xiamen International Buddhist Items and Crafts Fair is taking place at the Xiamen International Conference and Exhibition Center. Tzu Chi's Jingsi Publications is also taking part.
This year, the design of the Tzu Chi booth drew inspiration from Highland's Jingsi Abode and Jingsi Hall. The tea serving area was also decorated using bamboo, a plant symbolic of Tzu Chi's uprightness, frugality, and the unity and harmony of its volunteers.
We hope to convey the importance of moral and ethical values through our products.
Volunteers helping out at the fair have been growing in number each year, with volunteers from Taiwan, Zhangzhou, Quanzhou, and Wuhan helping out this time around. At Daai Technology's booth, staff wore clothing made from PET bottles to promote environmentalism, as well as the notion that unwanted items can be still used once again. Making final preparations prior to the fair, volunteers encountered challenges on day one.
The designer was running late while waiting for the posters that were supposed to be printed for the fair. They were supposed to have the venue set up by 12, but when we got here, they were still not done.
Fortunately, help arrived just in time as volunteers from Guangzhou, Suzhou, and Taiwan worked together to decorate the booth.
Spiritual cultivation is a one-step-at-a-time process. It's the same with Tzu Chi work.
A Taiwanese designer was also moved by Tzu Chi's spirit.
I've never taken part in Tzu Chi activities before, but helping out with the design has given me the opportunity to learn more about Tzu Chi. The environmental products they are promoting highlight the importance of giving items and extend their lease of life.
Some delays were experienced while setting up prior to the start of the fair. However, there were no complaints or assigning blame.
We hope everyone can take some time out to prepare themselves for the next few days of the fair. We hope to see many moving scenes transpire here.
Letting go of their reflections, 350 volunteers ready themselves to spread Tzu Chi's ideals to more people at one of the world's biggest Buddhist fairs. A 4-day seminar was held from October 9th to 12th to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Tzu Chi in the United States, as well as the 20th anniversary of the organization's educational mission. Volunteers had many surprises in store for both participants and Global Volunteer Coordinator Huang Sixian. And on the last day of the training seminar, Jingsi Abode Dharma Masters led volunteers in making a vow to continue walking the Tzu Chi path. Come lunchtime at the Tzu Chi US headquarters in San Dimas, California, Tzu Chi volunteers are given a surprise. The three realms refer to the world we live in, and the disasters in this world are represented by a house on fire. In the Lotus Sutra, the Great White Ox carriage symbolizes the supreme vehicle of Buddhahood. On the last day of the training seminar, Jingsi Abode Dharma Masters led all volunteers in making a vow to continue walking the Tzu Chi path.
The master reminds us to take note of our own behavior and follow the white ox. When we are united, we have great power to influence others. By supporting each other and working together, we can achieve a greater good.
现在让我们许下心愿。
Let us pray that all the volunteers in the United States call on numerous bodhisattvas to join Tzu Chi.
运在群生，无量菩萨入慈济。
The volunteers' commitment to Tzu Chi is not limited by age.
我今年75岁了。
I am 75 this year. Those who are in their 90s are still volunteering, so why can't I? They are my role models.
的榜样。
The White Ox put together by volunteers is there to remind all to be tolerant, as well as to work to light up all forgotten corners of society. Tzu Chi Global Volunteer Coordinator Huang Sixian was also the first director of the Tzu Chi US chapter some 25 years ago.
The elderly must pass on their experience, while the young must take on the baton.
At the seminar to mark Tzu Chi's anniversary, volunteers prepared a surprise for Brother Huang. Senior volunteers in California, as well as directors of the 9 chapters around the U.S., lead volunteers in a show of gratitude for Huang Sixian's dedication to Tzu Chi.
Thank you. I had no idea you prepared such a surprise for me.
Though shouldering great responsibilities, Huang Sixian is nevertheless grateful for the opportunity to give and promises to continue his work for as long as he can.
Brother Huang promises to lead us through the next 25 years. I will still be here when I'm 90. You all must be here too, each and every one of you. There are plenty of years ahead. We U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers must work hard, and by taking the Master's teachings to heart, we can find inner peace.
United as one, volunteers vow to work hand in hand in alleviating the suffering of those near and far. For the past 20 years, the Tzu Chi Education Foundation in the United States has developed and promoted Tzu Chi's educational programs both locally and nationally. With the hope of creating a better society and world through education, a new milestone was reached with the opening of the Tzu Chi Education Campus in Walnut, California. The sound of drums and a vibrant line dance marks the grand opening of the Tzu Chi Education Campus here in the city of Walnut in Southern California. 600 volunteers from across the United States, as well as members of the public, came to witness this historical moment. Planting a tree sapling on campus, this is symbolic of Tzu Chi's education mission taking root here in the U.S.
It's wonderful that the values of compassion and discipline and love and acceptance, understanding, these are the thoughts that will be taught to these young students.
Dharma Master De Chen from the Jingsi abode in Hualien, Taiwan, conveyed Master Zheng Yan's blessings at the inaugural event.
The Master has high hopes for the development of education in the United States because the U.S. plays a very influential role in the world. These children are not only hope for this country, but also hope for humanity.
Tzu Chi's education mission spans across the U.S., with 4 Tzu Chi Great Love preschools and kindergartens, 1 elementary school, and 23 academies around the country.
We hope that the children born and raised here can learn about Chinese culture and know where their roots are.
With 130 locations across the United States, I believe Tzu Chi's seeds of love will be able to spread to all corners. I trust our world will become a better place with Tzu Chi.
The opening of the Tzu Chi Education Campus marks a new beginning and a new milestone. From this moment on, Tzu Chi volunteers in the United States are ready to shoulder more as they strive forward into the next decade. For the past year, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hualien, Taiwan have been promoting conservation ideals in Shuiyuan villages' indigenous tribes, and these concepts have really taken root with the residents there. Recently, a tea gathering was held for residents, where, besides reinforcing recycling concepts, residents were also invited to join Tzu Chi's ranks. But first, Miss Malaysia Earth 2014 recently paid a visit to the Tzu Chi Ayakaro Industrial Park Recycling Station in Malacca. There, the friendly and down-to-earth pageant queen got to know Tzu Chi a little bit better and commended the volunteers for their efforts in protecting our planet. Let's take a look.
The charismatic and friendly Renee Tan is visiting a Tzu Chi recycling station in Malaysia's Malacca.
You see? Kind of skip, right? Yeah. You look at that. Up.
Today, the 2014 winner of Miss Malaysia Earth has come to learn more about Tzu Chi and its environmental conservation at the Ayakaro Industrial Park.
I'm really glad and blessed to be here, to be given the opportunity to be here, to be part of this worthy cause, concerning the environment. And after my visit here, I've opened my mind that Tzu Chi is not just about recycling, it's more than that. It's about helping the community, the people out there,
Staying true to her statement, save the earth, plant more trees, Tan didn't forget to plant one at the recycling station.
We hope this environmental ambassador can help spread Tzu Chi's conservation ideals to more places.
True to her crowning title, Miss Malaysia Earth is protecting our planet by doing her part to help. Also poised to protect the environment are Tzu Chi volunteers in Hualien, Taiwan. Volunteers are reenacting a scenario where plastic bag usage is not curbed and recyclables are incinerated instead of collected. The simple act of collecting recyclables not only helps save the earth, but can also help someone in need.
A blanket this big takes only 70 PET bottles to make, but during times of disaster, this blanket can bring much comfort to those who are suffering.
Sharing his experiences of helping out during Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteer Johan Alwal encourages residents to contribute their part and make this world a better place to live in.
Your love has entered the lives and homes of Shuiyuan village. I have seen the impact. I hope to do my part in joining your ranks.
As purification starts at the source, everyone is responsible for doing their part for the environment.
In Sao Paolo of Brazil, Tzu Chi volunteers recently visited 11 families in Cotia and took detailed notes of their situation as they hope to return soon with relief supplies. And TIMA medical staff also seized the opportunity to hold a free clinic in a nearby school to provide medical services to local residents. Let's join them there.
Though wearing a pink outfit, Anna Carolina's life is not as colorful as her clothes. 2 years ago, the now 18-year-old girl began suffering the onset of a hereditary disease, and her condition has since worsened. Anna's grandma, Rosa Helena, a Tzu Chi care recipient, couldn't understand why 2 of her 3 grandchildren were suffering the same fate. Besides lending an ear, volunteers also provide emotional support. Here at Sao Paolo's Cochilla, as most of the residents work odd jobs in nearby factories and struggle to make ends meet, volunteers hope to carry out door-to-door visits to find all those in need. Despite their difficult lives, residents here are optimistic by nature. Another resident, Francisco, was involved in a vehicle accident 2 years ago. Though his family has since been under financial pressure, he is still hopeful for the days ahead. Carefully noting down every detail they come across, volunteers hope to return soon with aid supplies to help these residents. At the same time, TIMA medical staff are also carrying out a free clinic to provide a variety of medical services. The path ahead may be full of challenges, but Tzu Chi volunteers and medical staff hope to continue reaching out to all those in need.
In Indonesia and Taiwan, Tzu Chi's free clinics are helping alleviate the suffering of many. In Taiwan's Taichung, a regular free clinic at Xinshe not only helps patients receive much-needed help, but the medical staff who participated in the event are also left inspired. And in Indonesia's Padang, Tzu Chi's arrival has helped a few patients with eye problems. Let's take a look.
Having been troubled by eye problems for many years, today, Tzu Chi's free clinic is finally bringing hope to Florencia and her mother.
I am very grateful to be able to receive such help. Our vision is very important. Without surgery, my daughter may never see again. I am really glad to have met the Tzu Chi Foundation.
With help from Tzu Chi, the future seems bright for Florencia. However, another patient, Pepri Erlina, may not be so lucky. Tears and eye discharge keep coming out from my eyes, so I had no choice but to remove my right eye. My left eye is all right. I didn't need surgery on that. I have had eye problems since I was little, and though I had a surgery, my condition hasn't gotten better. The 37-year-old woman has been ill for many years and thus was unable to work. Besides helping Pepri Erlina apply for medical subsidies, volunteers also hope to help bring her life back on track.
My cheeks don't hurt, but they're a little swollen, causing the fake eye to fall out at times. I hope to be as healthy as I was before, at least to have my face looking like normal. We Tzu Chi volunteers will do our best to assist her.
Life may be challenging at times, but for those at the Tzu Chi Padang Liaison Office, hope and help are on the way. Moving to Taiwan, Tzu Chi's medical team arrived at the Zhonghe Elementary School in the mountainous area of Xinshe near Taichung. With a friendly smile, Zhang Rongde joined the volunteers' ranks in helping those in need and hopes to call on his colleagues to join as well.
I shared my experiences online and my classmates saw it and became interested. One even came from Taipei to attend a free clinic with me.
Also inspired to give is Chinese medicine doctor Guo Ruqi, who has learned to better empathize with her patients.
It only takes us a few minutes to prescribe medication, yet the illness may have caused years of pain for the patient. I always try to empathize with them.
Having participated in the event, volunteers realize that filial duties and doing good deeds cannot wait.
We found out that a grandma had passed away, but only just 3 weeks ago or a month ago, she was still doing all right. Life is really impermanent.
Wherever there is suffering is where Tzu Chi volunteers will be, reaching out a helping hand for all those in need.
October 13th is a day of significance for Tzu Chi. In 2001, a spate of natural and man-made disasters, including the September 11th attacks in the US and typhoons Nari and Toraji in Taiwan, moved Master Zheng Yan to launch a campaign on October 13th of that year, as 1013 is homophonous in Chinese to the phrase of one person, one good deed. 13 years later, this campaign is still ongoing as volunteers continue to spread their love to all corners of the world. On October 13th, 2001, a Spread the Seeds of Love concert was organized at the Tzu Chi Guandu grounds. Various religious representatives and members of the public joined together to pray for blessings. Under the umbrella of One Person, One Good Deed movement, Tzu Chi volunteers from around the world came together. Whether it was taking to the streets or hosting various events, volunteers encouraged members of the public to spread their love through good deeds. In the United States, volunteers seized the opportunity at a community volunteer training session to unite everyone's compassionate heart.
We began the Spread the Seeds of Love movement. We didn't call it an activity because when activities come to an end, they are over, but a movement is continuous.
Meanwhile, in Argentina, volunteers organized a gathering inviting local teachers to spread seeds of goodness on school grounds. In Malaysia, some 600 students from 30 colleges came together to perform the sign language musical of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents to promote the spirit of filial piety and great compassion. 13 years on, the one person, one good deed movement is still going strong. We go back to 2001, the year the movement was started. It was a year plagued by countless disasters, natural and man-made. As natural and man-made disasters continue to ravage the world today, it is even more important to inspire goodness in people. Hence, on October 13th, Master Cheng Yen initiated the One Person, One Good Deed movement.
The FBI says this was a United Airlines flight, 175 out of Boston.
Remaining steadfast in the endeavor to spread love to all corners of the world, Tzu Chi volunteers' footsteps of compassion will never falter. In Malaysia's Kedah, dialysis patient 67-year-old Elian Sim was diagnosed with kidney disease following years of high blood pressure. Despite their financial burden, the senior 7 children all take turns looking after their mother. And as Tzu Chi now covers the medical costs, he reciprocates by collecting recyclables and donating the money to Tzu Chi.
At 6:30 in the morning, Elian Sim arrives at the Tzu Chi's dialysis center in Kedah with her son, who also helps measure her weight and blood pressure before leaving.
I get really tired when I have lots of work and I still have to bring my mom to the dialysis center. But she is ill already and I'm only fulfilling my duty as a child.
Suffering from years of high blood pressure eventually resulted in kidney disease for E. Besides her son, her 6 other children also take turns looking after her.
No matter how hard it is for us, we have to make sure she receives dialysis treatment. It is not a burden for us because she is our mother and we love her very much. The 3 dialysis treatments per week are in fact quite a heavy burden for E's children. Luckily, Tzu Chi now helps cover some of the costs. Wanting to reciprocate Tzu Chi's love, the senior now donates the money she collects from recyclables to Tzu Chi. It is not a loss because Tzu Chi is helping me already. If it wasn't for Tzu Chi, I wouldn't be here today. Illness did not separate this family, but instead bring them together. My grandma rarely has any negative thoughts. I hope she can always be by my side. Having her family by her side is the best medicine Elian Sim can ask for. Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines recently conducted a rice distribution for their care recipients at the Jingsi Hall in Quezon City. Like always, residents donate a little of their love to reciprocate Tzu Chi's kindness. However, 2 recipients, too poor to even make a monetary contribution, decided to repay Tzu Chi by extending their love and compassion to others. That's all we have time for today. Thank you for watching. See you next week.